Respect in the Workplace. Module 1 Getting Started. Welcome to the Respect in the Workplace workshop. A respectful work environment is essential to the overall success of your team, as well as contribution to a stronger work reputation. Evidently, when we learn to accept the differences between the values and perspectives of those around us, we can continue to grow as a team with this shared knowledge. The concept of respect is often taught at a young age. However, it is just as important to remind adults to model respective behaviors. Remember, it is the responsibility of all team members to be respectful to one another and address conflict in a positive manner in order to accomplish a healthy, safe work environment. This course will give you the tools and conversation to help empower your team to recognize behaviors that influence the performance done within the workplace. A respectful workplace is one in which integrity and professionalism are displayed, and skills to communicate and recognize one another are practiced. Workshop objectives. Research has consistently demonstrated that when clear goals are associated with learning, it occurs more easily and rapidly. With that in mind, let's review our goals for today. At the end of this workshop, participants should be able to have a clear understanding of respect and self-respect, choose appropriate emotional responses, develop respectful communication approaches, understand how to build a respectful workplace and the importance of team contribution. Understand policies on respect and the many benefits. Focus on building an inclusive work environment. Module 2, What is respect? Every day, respect plays a meaningful part of our lives and can arise in many forms. Respect is the way we show appreciation to the valuable qualities of others, and we are all worthy of this appreciation. People tend to respect those with authority. However, respect for other individuals is not limited to those who appear to have more power than we do. Without respect in our lives, there would be a great deal of conflict. Hence, it is crucial to incorporate respectful behaviors into the workplace. Respect comes in various forms, including respect for others, self-respect, respect for nature, and respect for laws. Every form of respect is a valuable contribution to success and happiness. Thus, it is important not to lack courteous gestures to those around us. Defining respect. The word respect can be defined in many ways. This concept is based on individual interpretation. What one person sees as respectful may be disrespectful to someone else. Our ideas of respect are based on our backgrounds and preferences, and the basic social guidelines in which we learn at a young age. The word respect comes from the Latin word respectus, meaning to regard, consider, or to look back. Respect is all about observation and acknowledgement. It is essential that to show respect for another individual, we must pay attention to their beliefs, along with accepting and valuing these beliefs. It is about thinking and acting in a positive attitude that shows care, consideration, or concern for others as well as oneself. Respect is important in allowing us to feel safe and voice our thoughts and opinions. There are many simple ways to show respect for others each day. Offering help, being on time, taking responsibility, listening to learn, saying please and thank you, respecting personal space. Self-respect. While we often recognize the importance of respecting others, it is equally as important to have respect for ourselves. Self-respect encompasses intrinsic worth, or simply put, pride and confidence in oneself. You can learn to practice self-respect by challenging yourself in ways that include standing up for yourself and understanding that not everyone will have respect for you, but continuing to have respect for others. Self-respect includes distancing yourself from negativity in order to create a positive mindset that will contribute to the success of your work. Respect for others and self-respect go hand in hand. By respecting yourself, you are building your own character. The character that you are building, full of self-love and motivation, is essential before you can learn to respect others and have others respect you. Owed respect versus earned respect. Respect can be broken down into two main concepts, being owed respect and earned respect. A balance between the two of these concepts helps in the contribution of success and good relationships among the team. Owed respect is respect that should be given to each individual member in the workplace. With owed respect, all members are able to feel valued each day, which leads to great benefits to the business. We owe respect to one another to ensure they feel included in the conversation of the team. Owed respect is not just confined to members who are higher up in the organization, but to each individual, as we all possess our own strengths. In contrast to owed respect, earned respect is the recognition of high performance or considerable strengths. Earned respect often deals with status, including rewards and promotions. Not every employee will have earned respect, only those who are dedicated and display qualities of a high-performing employee. Measuring respect. Since respect is based on individual interpretation, is it possible to measure respect? Our ideas of respect are established from our backgrounds and culture. Thus, all humans will have different understandings of what is respectful, or where you cross the line to being disrespectful. In order to ensure that you are remaining respectful, start with a basic consideration of the other person's feelings. If you are polite and conscious of his or her feelings and values, you will remain in respectful boundaries, avoiding harm or discrimination. If we wish to measure respect, we must inquire with others what respectful behavior means to them. Respect for the workplace. Showing respect for your workplace is just as important as showing respect to other employees in the workplace. Respecting your workplace is all about professionalism, or rather, how you properly conduct yourself in your profession. Acting professionally will guide you in creating a long, successful career. There are many rules and regulations that must be followed in the workplace, and it is your responsibility to abide by these protocols. There are many ways to show respect for your workplace and organization. These include taking responsibility and initiative for your work. You are responsible for arriving on time, performing to the best of your abilities, while helping others on your team and staying at work for your scheduled amount of time. Dressing appropriately. Always follow the dress code that is established in your work setting and for your type of position. Ensure your clothes are clean, neat, and comfortable so that you are still able to perform adequately. Remaining in good health and cleanliness. Some jobs are very demanding or tiring on the body. It is important to have a well-balanced diet, exercise, and adequate sleep in order to perform well on a day-to-day basis. Understanding and following regulations on scents and allergies and tobacco use. There are many health conditions that exist in which products such as these are especially harmful. Respect these regulations as they are there for a reason. Maintaining confidentiality. Certain information is confidential in the workplace and should not be included in casual conversations outside of the setting. Be attentive of the conversation and keep personal work information inside the work environment. Embracing a positive attitude. Your attitude has a big effect on your overall professionalism. Take pride in your work and show pride for your workplace. Case study. Jamal works at the local bank as an IT personnel. His fellow employees and management team are always admiring Jamal for his hard work. They see Jamal as the model employee. He arrives to work on time each day well-dressed and ensures personal cleanliness. While he is at work, he takes initiative and responsibility for his work and is always willing to help others. Jamal is consistently showing respect and recognition to those around him, in which his behaviors have earned him a high level of respect from his team. Module 3, the respectful employee. A workplace cannot be considered a respectful, safe environment if the employee who make up this company are not mannerly. A company position requires modeling specific behaviors, collaborating with other team members using these specific behaviors, and understanding how the overall team will benefit. There are certain skills that individuals should acquire throughout their learning years that can be advantageous to becoming an excellent, respectful employee. These skills are especially beneficial to learn prior to starting any position and valuable in preparation for job interviews. Evidently, employers look to hire individuals who they feel will cooperate and be considerate to each team member. On that note, respectful behaviors should continue throughout your everyday work performance. Common characteristics. A respectful employee presents with special behaviors and skills. While modeling the behaviors themselves, they are influencing the people around them of what a good employee looks like. Being a respectful employee requires self-respect, respect for the people around you, and respect for the environment around you. A respectful employee will acquire active listening and communication skills, organizational and time management skills, leadership skills, self-motivation, problem-solving skills, teamwork skills. Respectful employees understand and accept that they will not always be right. They listen to what other people have to say and do not disregard the feelings of others. Rather, they will see the valuable qualities of others. Respect requires being honest and telling the truth while maintaining care for the people around you. Employees should always support their leaders in workplace and strive to reach goals that will help them in becoming the best employee they can be. Always keep in mind that behaving in a respectful manner will show a reflection on your character. The importance of mutual respect. Respect is a two-way street. A respectful work environment requires reciprocal respect among the employees. The first step in ensuring mutual respect is to understand that you are all part of the same team, working towards similar goals. Mutual respect works when employees know that they are all entitled to an equal voice, and that it is more advantageous to work with one another rather than for one another. Employees who share mutual respect understand proper problem solving. Rather than fighting over issues, they will constructively discuss the problem, find common grounds, and come up with a proper solution. Any disrespectful behavior should be addressed and corrected immediately. Mutual respect will create a more positive work environment and allow for better job satisfaction. Earning respect. If you wish to earn respect, you must be worthy of gaining respect. You cannot earn respect if you do not show respect for yourself or for those around you. The key to earning respect is to think of others, pay attention to the people around you, and help those who require assistance. Thus, earning respect is the result of giving respect to others. A respectful individual does not belittle those whom they feel have less power. Here are some ways in which we can earn respect by giving respect. Honor the promises that you have given. If you respect other people's time, they will show respect for yours in return. Focus on your surroundings. Be inclusive and understand workplace diversity. Be truthful and admit any faults. Truly care for others. Offer help when needed. Stay open-minded. Understand that you still have a lot to learn and everyone shares different knowledge. We can earn respect from others in many ways. Start by being proactive and using your skills and resources to achieve positive actions. Remember that these actions can be more powerful than words. Enhancing professionalism. Simply put, a professional employee is one who displays respect in their everyday work performance. There is a strong link between respect and professionalism. You cannot be considered professional if you lack respect. It is a professional obligation in the workplace to show consideration for your fellow employees, respect differences between individuals, and care for the rules and regulations of the company. As employees, you are expected to have a high level of professionalism, in which this can be enhanced by continuing respectful practices each day. Being liked versus being respected. It is natural that humans desire to be liked. When people like you, there is something about you that appeals to them. Being liked is considered dependent on the other person and what they enjoy. It is evident that you would rather hang out with someone that you like, but work for someone that you highly respect. Being liked and being respected are not the same thing and should not be used interchangeably. The idea of being respected becomes more dominant over being liked when you consider the workplace. Respect is often earned when you have achieved great accomplishments and have made important decisions for the business. Others may speak highly about your work performance, but in turn think negatively about your personality. In other words, someone may respect you as a worker but dislike you as a person, or like you as a person but disrespect you as a worker. The most powerful and effective employers and employees are both liked and respected. Case study. Arthur has just recently started a new job as an accountant. He wanted to start fresh in this new office, being someone who the rest of the team admires and turns to for help. In his first week, Arthur had demonstrated time management, organization, problem-solving, and a variety of other skills that model a respectful employee. He was proud of himself for putting in such a great effort during his first week, and the management team observed this exceptional behavior. The management team knew that they had made a great choice in the hiring of Arthur, and Arthur knew that he had made the right choice in choosing to be an employee who respects himself as well as his team. Module 4: Disrespectful Behavior. Disrespectful behaviors are not part of our jobs and can lead to lower productivity, stress, and various long-term health issues. Unfortunately, instances of disrespect are common and become normalized in our everyday work lives. It is important to recognize disrespectful actions in order to deal with the problem and find a positive solution. Why these behaviors arise. There are many motives that will cause people to behave in a disrespectful manner, and in some cases, they may not feel as though this is disrespectful behavior. Some instances may be more easily identified than others based on the extent of the actions presented. Our background plays an immense role in shaping the way we behave with others. The behavior that we grow up learning, as well as cultural differences, will influence our thought process and affect what we see as respectful or disrespectful. Acceptable behavior in one household or culture may be insulting in another. Because they have been exposed to this type of behavior, they may not know any better and see it as normal. Everyday stresses can also play a part in how we express ourselves to others. Personal problems and frustrations can lead to lash-outs that would not normally occur. Someone who embodies low self-esteem will typically express negativity to his or her surrounding environment. It is important to try to think before acting in these circumstances, and remember that lashing out in a disrespectful manner can have negative effects. Discrimination. Employment discrimination is the unequal treatment of a fellow employee or applicant based on personal attributes such as race, sex, age, disability, or sexual orientation. Discrimination is a violation of human rights, in which this violation may be intentional or unintentional. Despite whether there is intent in the act of discrimination, it can be harmful and lead to a toxic work environment. Examples of employment discrimination include, but are not limited to, disallowing an employee time off to celebrate a religious holiday, being assigned impossible tasks, unequal pay as an employee with the same qualifications and experience, having information withheld from you, firing an employee because they are pregnant or injured. Bullying. The concept of bullying is similar to discrimination in that they both create physical or emotional harm on another individual, circulating around the idea of control and psychological power. Bullying is the repeated act of harming or humiliating someone for different reasons, such as the desire to advance social status, feeling insecure, or even being the target of bullying themselves. Loss of sleep and productivity, anxiety, and stress are just a few of the outcomes that the victim of bullying might feel. The victim will typically struggle to defend him or herself, causing a feeling of hopelessness. Harassment. Harassment is a form of discrimination that involves unwanted physical or verbal behavior. These behaviors are typically offensive, but are common and become unreported or unnoticed in the workplace. Harassment is disrespectful behavior that persists over time, in which some instances are even against the law. Harassment is not always recognizable. However, more obvious disrespectful conduct, such as offensive jokes, threats, or name-calling, are all considered harassment. There are different forms of harassment that can arise in a workplace setting. Sexual harassment. Unwanted sexual behavior or sexual gestures, invading one's personal space, or any unwelcome conduct. Sexual harassment is against the law and should be reported immediately. Physical harassment. Physical attacks, direct threats, or destruction of one's property. Psychological harassment. The major impact on one's well-being as it affects the individual mentally. This behavior includes disregarding, denying, or isolating the individual. Power harassment, characterized by a power imbalance that includes excessive demands or acts of intimidation. Discriminatory harassment, harassing an individual based on gender, race, religion, age, or disability. What is not harassment? As mentioned, circumstances of harassment are not always obvious or can be contradictory as to whether these instances are considered harassment, especially since humans all have different perceptions of what is considered respectful. There is a fine line as to whether conduct is harassment or not harassment. For an action to be determined as harassment, it must be improper and offensive, causing harm or humiliation. When considering whether an incident is harassment, a few questions may come to mind. Does this action offend you or negatively affect you? Is this behavior personally directed at you? Has this incident occurred more than once? Is this behavior inappropriate or improper? Has this affected you emotionally or physically? Are you being treated differently from other employees? Actions that are not considered harassment are those that have mutual consent between the employees, including a compliment on the appearance of another employee, a friendly hug or pat on the back, assigning tasks to an individual, disputes or disagreements. Unfortunately, there are some instances where an employee may allege harassment when it is not actually a form of harassment. For example, if an employee is not satisfied with the outcome of a performance review, they may allege harassment, as they perceive they are being treated differently. Allegations of harassment are serious, and it is crucial to be certain that these conditions constitute harassment prior to any further action. Case study. Simon works as a data entry clerk at a paper supply company. Lately, Simon has been feeling as though his boss Sam is not treating him fairly. Sam had discussed Simon's performance review and informed Simon that he needs to better his time management skills and improve his numbers in order to reach the same number of entries as the other data entry clerks in the office. Simon sees this as a form of power harassment from Sam and approaches Louise, the human resources representative, with his concerns. Louise examines the situation and takes everything Simon has informed her very seriously. She explains to Simon that this is not Sam harassing him, but that Sam is providing these instructions to help improve Simon's work performance. She proceeds to help Simon understand what harassment is and sets up a meeting with both Simon and Sam. The three of them discuss ways in which Simon can improve, as well as how Sam can ensure Simon feels respected by him. Module 5. Managing Emotions. In order to maintain a respectful work environment, it is imperative to focus on how you react to situations around you. Emotions should be recognized and controlled in a respectful manner. In the case that we let our emotions take control and act on the wrong kinds of emotions, this can lead to a negative outcome and lower team productivity. Emotional management is considered a skill that includes being mindful of choosing a more practical and positive emotional reaction over a less effective emotional approach. Practicing managing your emotions can help you constructively face challenges that may arise in everyday workplace situations. Meaning of emotions. Before we can focus on emotional management, we must first look at the meaning behind emotions. Emotions are internal and arise from reactions to the conditions and the people around you. Each emotion has a message associated with it. For example, if you are feeling disappointed, the message with this is that there is a gap in your expectations. Our thoughts have a big effect on our emotions. In other words, two people may have different responses to a situation, since they were brought up with different thought processes. Emotions can greatly influence our decision-making and behavior, therefore influencing our work lives. Negative emotions at work. On an everyday basis, we experience a wide range of emotions, moving from one emotional state or another. Some emotions are more challenging to control and deal with, and may affect how you are performing at work. By addressing and managing emotions at work, we are able to better handle conflicts and adjust to any changes or new challenges that arise. A respectful work environment will typically carry positive emotions among the employees, including contentment, enthusiasm, and satisfaction. Positive emotions have many great benefits in the workplace, including better productivity and stress management. Unfortunately, negative emotions in the workplace are still common and can result in higher job turnover and adverse health effects. Some common negative emotions in the workplace include worry, frustration, or stress. These behaviors are more likely to contribute to a toxic work environment, so we must be conscious in how we communicate and collaborate with one another to avoid these emotions from arising. Choosing your reactions. We are all equipped with internal responses that arise from various situations. These emotional responses affect how we think and act. Thus, it is critical to be conscious of these responses in order to maintain professionalism. Negative emotions can be common in the workplace, whether it is caused by work-related matters or other personal stressors aside from work. Regardless of the source, approach the situation with a conscious mindset to create an appropriate response and control any outbursts. Try to remember that you are part of the team and to be mindful of your reactions in order to stay respectful and calm. Well-respected individuals understand how to respond as opposed to how to react. Here are some helpful tips when choosing respectful emotional responses. Do not reciprocate rudeness or disrespect. If you are not being treated appropriately, be the bigger person and remain courteous. Do not reply to the situation if you are angry. Allow your mind to process the situation and formulate a proper reply or solution. Try to work with your feelings by understanding what they are telling you. If you happen to respond with an outburst, apologize for this behavior. Recognize what provokes you. Strive to find ways to manage your responses in these particular situations. Absorbing other people's emotions. The emotions of other individuals have a great impact on our own. It is evident that if another employee storms into the office with a negative emotion, then it's a natural response to be vulnerable to absorb this negative emotion. A respectful work environment is one that is supportive, safe, and positive. Thus, in order to maintain this respectful work environment, when various emotional responses are happening continuously, it is critical to be aware of our responses and assist in adjusting the emotions of others when we have the opportunity to do so. Our feelings in interactions are contagious. If someone is interacting with you in a positive, friendly attitude, then we will typically reciprocate this positive emotion. By being aware of emotional responses, it will encourage us to formulate a correct response to the situation. Positivity and respect will have a halo effect in the workplace, in which these conditions will carry many great benefits such as helping. For instance, if you express happiness and joy in helping coworkers with a task, it will bring out positive emotional responses in others such as gratitude. Being able to handle emotional situations is beneficial to preserving a respectful, safe work environment. If there is lack of respect present, then negative emotional responses such as hurt or sadness will occur. We must be responsive and sensitive to the emotions of others. If an employee is feeling distressed, try to help by showing concern and offering help to that individual. If an employee is feeling sadness, try showing empathy and understanding to the situation. The positive outcome. Positive emotions at work can be useful to benefit yourself as well as those around you. Your emotions can help you to accomplish your goals and create a stronger team in the workplace. When happiness and other positive emotions spread, everyone wins. If we avoid letting unfavorable emotional states cloud our judgment, we are capable of receiving great outcomes. This includes lower job turnover, reduced employee absenteeism, better stress management and overall better health, improved social interactions, enhanced creativity, greater job satisfaction. Enter the workplace with enthusiasm and a goal to share your positive mindset with others. You will see powerful effects with the emotional responses of others in relation to an overall enhancement in professionalism. Case study. Jack works as a customer service representative for a telecommunications company. Throughout his morning, he had been dealing with angry, difficult customers. He was beginning to take on the effects of these emotions from the customers, feelings of anger, frustration, and stress. Jack had decided that it was best to step away from his work for a short moment and take a breath. He realized that he could not let these emotions of frustration affect his work performance. Jack returned to his desk with a fresh mind and continued to talk to the next customer with courtesy. By managing his emotions, he was able to maintain respect and professionalism. Jack's boss, Adia, noticed how conscious he had been when choosing his reactions during this stressful time and was proud of her respectful employee. Module 6: Respectful Communication Approaches. Showing respect through communication is a strong component in building a healthy, successful work environment and developing interpersonal relationships between coworkers. Simply put, communication is the transferring of messages between one another. Communication may be done with or without the use of words. However, it is critical to pay attention to those around us and how they may respond to these messages. A respectful communicator is one who accommodates for diversity, values the opinions of others, and communicates in a clear and courteous manner. Self-awareness. Developing self-awareness is a conscious skill that involves monitoring our own behaviors, thoughts, and emotions, and how these may affect others. The ability of becoming self-aware will allow you to become more comfortable with yourself and focus on your strengths and weaknesses. Effective and respectful communication involves being able to express our own views, as well as acknowledging the views of those around us. Before we can listen to others, it is important that we first listen to ourselves. Our previous life experiences hold great influence on the quality of our listening and communication, which initiate our instant responses to situations. By becoming self-aware, we can focus on our own perspectives to help manage our communication with other individuals. In turn, those around you are more likely to respect you for acknowledging your own strengths and weaknesses. There are many ways we can increase our self-awareness and develop self-respect. Self-reflect daily. Practice mindful habits. Acknowledge strengths and weaknesses. Ask others for feedback. Value this feedback. Active listening. Active listening is an essential part of communication, but may also be a very hard skill to master. Listening to what someone has to say helps us to understand, obtain information, and resolve conflicts that can arise in the workplace. However, our brains tend to wander and begin to formulate a response early in the conversation, rather than actually listening. Active listening involves patience and allowing the individual speaking to express their words and thoughts. Interrupting with argumentative feedback is a form of disrespect. It is telling the speaker that you do not value what they are trying to say. When listening to the speaker, concentrate on what is being said. Try not to allow yourself to be distracted by the environment around you. By giving feedback and forming questions when the speaker is finished, you are showing them that you truly value what they are expressing. There are great benefits to becoming an active listener. Active listening can help to build relationships and improve trust, avoid misunderstandings, and motivate the productivity of team members. Nonverbal communication. Communication can happen without words being spoken, which is why it is important to become sensitive to our own body language. Nonverbal communication includes gestures, expressions, posture, and eye contact. These cues will help tell the person you are communicating with how well you are listening, based on whether these cues match the spoken words. The use of nonverbal gestures allows for an open interpretation. Facial expressions and gestures are two examples of nonverbal communication that can have meaning in different cultures. It is also common to misinterpret body language. For example, a shy individual may avoid eye contact while speaking, which can be perceived as rude. Try to stay emotionally empathetic and recognize that not everyone will have the same communication skills as you. This is a key component in demonstrating respect as a communication skill. Verbal communication. Verbal communication involves the use of words to share information, in which these words may be spoken or written. This communication in a workplace may involve individuals on all levels of the organization and can be done in a variety of contexts, including group meetings, one-on-one interactions, or sales pitches. There is a variety of techniques to help communicate respect and show interest to what is being said. Reinforcement. Reinforcement helps to show that you have an interest in what the individual is saying and that you are open for discussion. Try using encouraging words to help contribute to the discussion. Questioning. Asking questions can help to clarify any misunderstandings in the discussion. Remember to ask questions in a respectful manner to show that you value their responses. Summarize. Finalizing the conversation with a summary on the discussion will show effectiveness of the information. This technique helps to reiterate the main points and shows that you truly hear what is being said. Constructive disagreement. Disagreements are normal and effective in building a strong work team. However, it is important to know how to constructively disagree. Constructive dialogue means to focus on the issue that is being presented, discussing this issue and working to find a positive conclusion to the issue. Remember that everyone in the discussion truly believes that they are asserting the correct statements, so it is critical to maintain respect towards one another. You should approach the conversation in an understanding manner, which can result for the opportunity for your workplace to grow. When we motivate one another and listen to new perspectives, we can conclude with positive solutions and better outcomes. There is a greater response of job satisfaction involved with constructive debate. It allows for interaction among the team, personal growth, and overall improved productivity. Here are some things to remember when disagreeing to ensure the conversation is constructive. Have a clear understanding of the discussion and what you are trying to achieve in the outcome. Ask questions to better fathom the contradictory proposal. Do not allow disagreements to be personal. Disagreements should be according to facts, and any personal background should be put aside. Try not to focus on being right. Focus on finding a solution. It is okay to agree to disagree, but do so in a respectful manner. Case study. Lewis and Vincent have been working at a firm together for 6 years. Lewis has noticed that Vincent always seems to be lazy at work, which results in Lewis carrying his weight on the team projects and reports. Their manager had informed them that they would have to work together on the company's 10-year anniversary celebration project. When Lewis heard this news, he was angry that he would have to collaborate with Vincent. Once they began discussing plans for the celebration project, Lewis knew he would have to put aside personal feelings towards Vincent in order to complete the task successfully. Lewis listened to what Vincent had to say and respected his inputs rather than putting them down. Together, they worked together to find a solution of how they would put on a great celebration for the team. Their manager had recognized their efforts to work together and was proud of them for being respectful employees with one another. Module 7. The Inclusive Mindset. A respectful work environment ensures that every employee feels accepted and included, despite any differences. There are great benefits to having a diverse workplace, in which this diversity is built from inclusion. Diversity allows for various perspectives to help advance the overall team. In order to achieve having an inclusive workplace, it is important to ensure that you have an inclusive mindset that respects the values and perspectives of others. Remember that we all have knowledge to put forward, regardless of different abilities, ages, or cultures. The inclusive leader. The inclusive leader in the workplace helps to motivate others to have leadership qualities as well. This leader is devoted to having a diverse work environment and assures that inclusion for each individual in the office is a main priority. In order to be an inclusive leader, you must believe that everyone is equal. Qualities of an inclusive leader includes respects viewpoints, good listener, people-oriented, dependable, empathetic, patient. An inclusive workplace will show an increase in performance. Employees should feel respected and involved in their team each day, not just at random. If you are uncertain as to whether someone is feeling excluded, you can always ask what can be done to make sure they feel more connected with the team. Diversity versus inclusion. Diversity and inclusion are terms that are frequently linked together. However, they carry different meanings. Practicing respectful behaviors is the key to achieving a healthy, diverse workplace in which every employee is acknowledged and appreciated. Diversity. The term diversity refers to the similarities and differences between humans. This includes race, gender, age, socioeconomic status, or religion. Inclusion. The term inclusion refers to the actions that are done to accommodate diversity. Inclusion is the how, or rather, what is done in order to include everyone. Respectful practices will help to accomplish inclusion and diversity to create a powerful team in the workplace. Types of workplace diversity. Today, workplaces are more diverse than ever. Diversity is particularly important in the workplace. The work team would be weaker and less innovative if each member carried the same perspectives and experiences. When we think of diversity, often race and gender are the first things to come to mind. However, since diversity is based on variations, it can include almost anything that alters. Here are some examples of common workplace diversity. Gender. This is the most visible type of diversity. Ethnicity. The differences among ethnicities allow for varying perspectives that can contribute to a strong work team. Race. Where ethnicity is related to culture, race is more about the biological makeup and physical traits of humans. Socioeconomic status. The class, income, or social standing of an individual. Disability and ability. This is not limited to mobility. It includes any condition that causes limitations or difficulties for an individual, in which this can be physical, cognitive, or mental. Age. Individuals of all age groups will think differently. Age is often a factor that may cause certain organizations to discriminate. However, varying ages are of excellent benefit to achieve productive decision-making and background knowledge that can be brought forward to the team. Creating an inclusive workplace. In order to achieve a workplace that promotes inclusion and the building of diversity, it is crucial to have all employees engaging in these practices. When everyone is included in the conversation, the workplace has the opportunity to become more powerful. Any behaviors that are disrespectful or rude should be acknowledged immediately. Creating an inclusive workplace requires respect for one another to happen each day. If your team is unaware or uncertain about the steps to take in order to resolve issues, or difficulty approaching these positive behaviors, you can consider a proper diversity training workshop to aid in guidance. Inclusive workplace practices can include, but are not limited to, including all employees in discussions or employment decisions. Ensuring all voices are heard. Allow for alterations for who is running the group meetings. Connecting and interacting with every member of the team. Listen to their values and discuss goals with one another. Incorporating gender-friendly bathrooms and nursing rooms for mothers. Acknowledging the religious and cultural holidays that are celebrated by individuals in the workplace. Management should be educated on these practices to reinforce these practices to all employees. The power of words. The words we use in a workplace matter. Inclusive language is language that ensures everyone is respected and valued. This language is free from discriminatory and stereotyped phrases or words, while exhibiting professionalism and maturity. It is important to be conscious of the words we choose, as they may unintentionally have an effect on others. There are many ways we can accommodate inclusive language in our everyday conversations using respectful terminology. Here are some ways we can incorporate inclusive language to help build diversity in the workplace. Simple hellos using proper names and saying please and thank you. Disabilities. Be sure to focus on the person separate from the disability. A disability is something they have. Rather, it is not something that they are. Disabilities can be visible or non-visible. Be conscious of your words. Use language that is gender inclusive. Try to avoid personal assumptions. You can incorporate gender-neutral terms when referring to the employee's significant other, such as partner or spouse. Include language that is engaging for all ages. Avoid any sexist language. This includes offensive language that is directed at either females or males. Be mindful when you are depicting an employee by their race or culture. Avoid assumptions. Remember that religious belief is something that you cannot force on others. Biased language on religion should also be avoided in conversation. By focusing on our language, we can establish a work environment that helps support diversity and not exclude particular groups. If you are uncertain of the proper terminology to use, you can always ask. When making an improper assumption, apologize for your mistake and learn from this. Inclusive language will help productivity grow and increase employee engagement. Case study. Elizabeth is an office manager who does not quite understand the importance of inclusion and diversity in the workplace. She is always picking favorites, excluding certain employees from group meetings, and does not use inclusive language. Being the office manager, it is essential for Elizabeth to be an inclusive leader. This requires avoiding favoritism, making inclusion a priority, and being self-aware of words. Oliver is the human resources representative that works with Elizabeth. He knew it was important to take Elizabeth into his office and discuss the importance of inclusion and how there are many great benefits to a diverse work environment. He explained that diversity is an excellent asset to the overall company, in which everyone has different values that will help to build a strong team. This conversation was mind-altering for Elizabeth. She agreed to become committed to inclusive leadership, with ambition to become a better, more respectful office manager. Module 8. Employee Recognition. All employees strive in their workplace to be able to gain self-worth, feel appreciated, and be respected. Employee recognition is the showing of gratitude towards an employee for his or her achievements and values to the business. The main goal for employee recognition is to address and reinforce actions and behaviors that provide powerful benefits in creating a successful business. Unfortunately, employee recognition can be rare due to organizations being uncertain of how to implement recognition effectively. When employees do not receive recognition for their efforts, they are less motivated and may leave this job and search for one that incorporates recognition or rewards to their employees. Recognition and respect. Recognition and respect go hand in hand. Showing recognition to an individual indicates that you respect what they are doing and is a powerful motivator in strengthening performance. We all love recognition. It increases our happiness and helps us to recognize our own assets. There is an evident link in how people are treated in the workplace, in connection to how well they perform with their work. Accordingly, recognition is an important component in creating an exceptional workplace. The halo effect. Simply put, the halo effect occurs when one person's character influences the feelings, actions, and opinions of others. This is evident with employee recognition. When we highlight the efforts of one employee, it will typically prompt another employee to aim for recognition as well. Employee recognition allows for excellent benefits to the overall business, such as an increase in employee engagement and a decrease in employee turnover rates. Employees respect individuals who are recognized for their efforts. Recognition is a way to challenge fellow employees to do better. The halo effect of employee recognition will help to encourage future success in the decisions and actions associated with the business. As mentioned, employees will reward you with their best efforts if they are given respect and acknowledgement for their work. Not only are the employees benefited with the recognition, but the overall business receives strength in return. Those who show respect to their employees will receive respect from their employees. Giving recognition. Employee recognition is not just limited to extraordinary events or monetary bonuses. It can be as simple as remembering and addressing an individual by his or her name. It includes compliments, friendly greetings, and saying thank you for the work that has been done. If necessary, remember to apologize for any misunderstandings that can arise, as this acknowledgement is a sign of respect. No employees feel job satisfaction if they are not appreciated for their hard work and achievements. When recognizing or rewarding exemplary performances, there are certain criteria to follow in order to ensure that you are successfully recognizing this individual. Be fair and consistent. All employees should receive an equal chance at receiving recognition, especially if they are putting in the same efforts. Be meaningful. Ensure that your employees are motivated based on your choice of recognition. Be timely and frequent. If you wish to recognize an employee based on a particular behavior, do so as soon as possible. Recognize your employees' efforts each day. Even small gestures can greatly influence one's performance. Be specific. Elaborate on why you are recognizing the individual. If they are being recognized for achieving a particular goal, Incorporate in your congratulating recognition speech what it is they have achieved. The more you connect the recognition to the company's goals and values, the more these values will become reinforced and influence the team to strive to reach these goals. Make sure the goals are clear for the team and encourage everyone to participate in showing admiration and respect for one another. The communication component. Employee recognition helps to contribute to communication amongst the team as a whole. Recognition reinforces the goals and values of the business and encourages constructive feedback to help make improvements. Discussing exemplary performances from individuals helps to enhance loyalty for the team, increase productivity, and bolster collaboration. Try communicating with employees regularly and remind the employees about how recognition benefits the overall team. Peer-to-peer recognition should be encouraged within the workplace. Giving employee recognition is not just limited to the managers or other high levels of the organization. When employees recognize the efforts of their peers, it is substantially more meaningful to the one being recognized, whereas recognition from the employer may seem compulsory. Encouraging peer-to-peer recognition also teaches the employees about gratitude and builds a more respectful work environment. Improving employee recognition. Now that we have looked at employee recognition strategies and benefits, how can we implement this recognition into our everyday work lives? Employee recognition does not have to relate to work performances, but it can include exciting life events, such as anniversaries, birthdays, or even welcoming new employees to the team. It is also a great idea to acknowledge those employees who have worked on their overall self-improvement. Recognition does not always require rewards. In the event that you desire to implement rewards with recognition, here are some examples of popular ways to do so. Offer a free team lunch from time to time. This lets the employees know that they are appreciated, while also allowing the employees to communicate outside from the workplace. Host employee appreciation days or events. These will highlight certain employees and help to boost their self-esteem if the team celebrates them. Include an employee recognition wall. Seeing the employees on the wall will help to remind fellow employees that this person's efforts were acknowledged and respected. Offer a round of applause for an employee. This can be done at a morning meeting to help start the day out on a positive note. Case study. Lucy works as a sales representative for an electronics company. She had been working extra hard to achieve her goals and has even been staying late at work to complete all of her tasks. When she communicates with the other members of her team, she is always sure to be friendly and welcoming. After all of this hard work and dedication to the company, Lucy was still asking herself, "Am I good enough? Does anyone notice all of the hard work I am putting in for the company?" Secretly, Lucy's boss Elijah had been planning an employee appreciation day to celebrate Lucy's achievements. Elijah had gathered the team together at the end of the work week and announced to the group how proud he was of Lucy, stating her goals that she has accomplished and how her performance has benefited the business. The other employees agreed with this announcement and became inspired by Lucy. This had left Lucy feeling respected by her employer and employees and motivated to continue her hard work. Module 9, the R's of respect. Employees may settle for less than they deserve if they are uncertain as to what they are entitled to. Disrespectful behaviors and actions should be non-existent in the workplace. Employees should be able to recognize and understand the proper steps to take when they are undervalued, as well as their professional responsibilities as team members in maintaining a workplace that is cooperative and mannerly. Be realistic in your expectations in the workplace. You should never have to put up with feeling belittled. But remember that not everyone will have the same expectations as you. There are certain measures that can be taken when you do not feel as though your fellow employees are respecting you. Once you take control of the situation, both you and your work will benefit. Recognition. While respect can be present in many ways, it is often disrespect that is more obvious to recognize. Disrespect has a way of making us feel low, defeated, or rejected. Employees may be disrespected by their coworkers without even recognizing this as disrespect, for which this may be believed to be part of the norm or everyday work behavior. Disrespect may be apparent or very subtle, and it is more common for women to be undervalued in the workplace. There are many ways to recognize that you are being given respect. These signs include, but are not limited to, looking you in the eye during conversation, speaking in a polite tone, giving you their time and complete focus, holding a conversation, allowing you to provide input, addressing you by your proper name, asking you for advice, placing you in a leadership position. Sometimes workplace behaviors and actions are obvious in being a form of disrespect, including you are being paid less than the standard, you are not included in meetings, your boss does not help you in becoming a better employee, or does not provide you with proper feedback. Respect will allow you to feel motivated and inspired. It is beneficial to be able to recognize the signs of respect and disrespect in order to ensure you are given the value you deserve, or take action if you are being mistreated. Responding. When formulating a proper response to any situation in the workplace, it is crucial to remember to maintain professionalism and approach the situation in the best way possible. Not only should respect be reciprocated with respect, but disrespect should as well. In other words, be the bigger person and respond proactively and respectfully. Do not allow mistreatment to become internalized thoughts, and understand that you deserve to be treated like everybody else. If disrespect is present, try to respond to the situation as soon as possible. You can try being proactive with the disrespectful individual by bringing forth your concern in an attempt to resolve the issue directly. Perhaps the individual is unaware of their disrespectful behavior and may require an explanation of how it has affected you in order to resolve any issues from escalating. If the attempt at trying to resolve the problem directly with the individual is not an option or does not solve the problem, then try talking to your supervisor or human resources about your negative experience. Whatever way you choose to respond, be sure to be direct and consider any circumstances that may result from your response. Reporting. When conduct is offensive, inappropriate, or demeaning, such as discrimination or sexual assault, you may be required to report this incident to higher authority. Your supervisor or human resources can assist in the appropriate way of reporting the complaint, whether it is formal or informal. It may be decided that you do not wish to further pursue the complaint, or the employer may decide to conduct a formal investigation. Employers must also maintain professionalism when these problems arise. They must remember to respect the feelings and values of their employees, while offering a welcoming environment in which employees feel safe to discuss or report their problems. All reported incidences should be taken seriously. Roles and responsibilities. As members of the workforce, we all have roles and responsibilities to care for our team and perform to the best of our ability each day. Oftentimes, unethical employees may make it difficult for the company to function well as a team. It is the employer's responsibility to protect his or her employees' safety and health, and set the proper tone for the workplace. It is critical for employees to respect their responsibilities. The disregard to respect responsibility can have serious consequences, such as discipline or even termination. The duties for an employee include obeying the employment contract, cooperating with fellow team members, serving faithfully to your position, and including diligence and care in your performance. Rising above. In order to maintain professionalism in the workplace, it is important to rise above any mistreatment or other disrespectful behaviors and preserve your own self-respect. Insensitive coworkers should not threaten your position in the workplace. If you are informing disrespectful coworkers that they are being unprofessional, remember to remain professional yourself. Consider your tone, appropriate responses, and the controlling of any negative outbursts. Be the bigger person. Case study. Sandra is a marketer at a local trucking company. Sadly, Sandra had been feeling as though she is not part of the team lately. When employees talk to her, they avoid eye contact and do not focus on what she is actually saying in the conversation. She is uncertain as to whether her fellow employees even know that her first name is Sandra, since they typically refer to her as she or that marketer lady. Sandra decided that enough is enough. She decided to politely confront her fellow employees to inform them about how she feels and how this affects her work performance. The other workers at the trucking company were completely unaware that Sandra had been feeling this way and agreed to better themselves as coworkers to show the respect and gratitude that Sandra deserves. This resulted with Sandra feeling more comfortable in her work environment and the team acknowledging the importance of everyday respect towards one another. Module 10: Building a Respectful Workplace. A respectful workplace does not just happen on its own, it is built. It is common for a workplace to develop disrespectful practices unintentionally. Thus, it is important to be conscious of our actions in order to build this respectful environment, where employees spend most of their day. Once respect is present, all employees should be empowered to maintain this respect in order to ensure a healthy, successful workplace each day. When employees are not respected, it plays an immense role in their job performance. Respect is not only the right thing to do, but it has many great benefits that will be discussed in this module. It starts with you. If we wish to motivate our team to acquire respectful behaviors, we must first model these behaviors ourselves. Creating a respectful environment can be as simple as greeting your coworkers, holding open the door for another, using names when addressing one another, or saying please and thank you. These manners can go a long way in the promotion of a healthy workspace and will influence others to share this respect with others. You can also help build a respectful workplace by showing consideration to the business itself. This can include showing up on time for your job, staying the whole shift, helping out others at work, and doing your very best in your work performance. Team contribution. Respect is contagious. When we show respect for others, we will in turn receive and earn respect from others. Thus, mutual respect is a team contribution. Respect is an important key in a high-functioning team, as it allows for greater strengths and a more successful team. When everyone is working together and respecting ideas and contributions from one another, then great things will happen. This includes determining the goals for the team, including every employee in this process, and establishing the strengths and weaknesses of each team member. We can start with modeling respectful behaviors ourselves, but in order to create a powerful, productive workplace, it requires respectful efforts from the overall team. Respecting space and boundaries. Understanding and respecting personal space and boundaries is an essential factor in creating a safe environment, where our boundaries protect us and help us to define our personal responsibilities and values that may differ from others. Personal space is the physical distance among two or more individuals within a family, work, or any social environment. This physical distance will vary, however, depending on your comfort and relationship with the other person. We all have different boundary expectations, so that is why it is critical to recognize cues and any indications when we may have disrespected another individual's boundaries. Violations to space and boundaries may be accidental or on purpose. The workplace should be a safe zone. In order to respect the space and boundaries of others, it is important to ensure we are able to distinguish when we are invading others' personal space and how to correct these violations. Workplace ethics. Ethics are the moral principles that empower our behaviors and choices, guiding us to abide by right and wrong conduct. Ethics and respect coincide with one another. Respect helps to give the principles of ethics meaning. Workplace ethics are the rules and guidelines established in a workplace that dictate proper actions and behaviors. It is imperative that the organization indicates proper conduct of what is acceptable and unacceptable, and stresses the importance of abiding by this conduct. The importance of these guidelines has been increasing over the years in order to protect the health and safety of all employees. There should be consequences or punishment involved for those employees who behave in unethical manners. Policies on respect. To keep discrimination and other harmful behaviors to a minimum, workplaces should have policies on respect implemented and enforced. Respect policies prohibit all forms of violence, bullying, and discrimination. These policies will help to ensure the health and safety of the employees and encourage employees to be respectful to each other. Any violation of respect, whether it is bullying, harassment, or discrimination, should come with an investigation on the situation and punishment for harmful actions. Employees are entitled to a work environment that promotes respect and dignity for each individual, and these policies will further help to protect employees. Case study. Dimitri and David have worked side by side at an insurance company for the past 5 years. David has been noticing that Dimitri has been getting more comfortable with helping himself to the belongings on his desk, and is always interrogating David about his home life. David felt as though Dimitri was more interested in talking rather than working, and wanted Dimitri to give him some space so that he can get his work done. David was uncertain about how to ask Dimitri to respect his personal space and boundaries. Fortunately, the insurance company held a meeting that had discussed how to appropriately approach others in the workplace, and how to recognize signs that you are invading the personal space of others. It was mentioned to look at different cues and gestures, and what not to talk about at work. Dimitri thought to himself, "Hey, that sort of sounds like me. Am I invading David's space? These gestures sound like the way that David would act when I would chat with him." After this, Dimitri focused on ensuring that he was respecting David's space and boundaries. This created a better partnership between the two workers. Module 11. Benefits to the business. Respect in the workplace can allow for powerful benefits for both the employees and overall business. Practicing respect will lead to a stronger team that works collaboratively, creating a safe work environment in which employees feel valued and secured. Respect will only have positive outcomes, so it is critical to practice these behaviors in order to achieve the following benefits. Productivity and knowledge. Employees who trust and share mutual respect are more likely to share knowledge with each other. This allows the employees to work more as a team, rather than trying to excel over one another. Every individual should feel as though their intelligence is of great significance to the team, and want to contribute to the conversation. When respect is present, everyone will be more motivated to do better, resulting in an increase in productivity. There is a better understanding of the expectations and responsibilities for each individual. Any controversy in the office that is addressed respectfully and professionally will help to increase productivity by reducing the amount of time spent in dispute. Employee engagement. A respectful workplace is one in which employees are more likely to apply themselves, such as in decision-making. Employee engagement includes both engagement with the manager and other employees, as well as engagement with the organization as a whole. When employees see how they fit into the business and their overall role for the team, they will feel more enthusiastic about their work. Employees who are disengaged in their work are more likely to leave their job. Job satisfaction. Respect for one another will lead to employees feeling satisfied, content, and empowered to contribute to decisions in the workplace. If an employee is feeling valued with their efforts, they will feel comfort and stability with their team, allowing for a better work-life balance, career growth, and expectations of the job to be met. Employees who do not feel respected in the workplace will be less committed to their positions and lead to higher turnover for the team. Satisfied employees will help the company to grow while increasing productivity. Respectful practices are beneficial to the employees as individuals and the workplace as a whole. When respect is present, everyone benefits. Stress reduction. Work can occasionally be a main source of stress for adults. Each day we have deadlines, goals, and the desire to be promoted. Stress is the body's response to changes or demands. Stress is not always a negative response since it helps us to achieve challenges. However, it is when demands become completely out of our control that stress can take over and harm us both physically and mentally. Stress can be associated with many concerning health effects, such as heart attack or hypertension. Disrespectful behaviors that can lead to workplace stress includes conflicts with other employees, lack of support or appreciation, lack of clarity on job expectations, discrimination, or any threats to personal safety. In order to decrease stress in the workplace, it is important to pinpoint areas of disrespect. When an employee is respected, they will feel as though they are free to be themselves. Respecting one another will greatly reduce stressors involved in our everyday work lives, creating a healthier, successful work environment. The welcoming environment. In general, a respectful environment is a welcoming environment. This includes employees feeling both happy and healthy. Respect will reduce workplace hardships and increase employee attendance. A successful workplace is one in which there is a sense of fairness amongst everyone. Employees wish to feel safe in their work environment, and this will be accomplished when we respect each other. Case study. Joyce has recently started her new job at a new office as a bookkeeper. She is very excited for this new beginning, since she has heard great things about this office. In her first week, she knew she had made the right decision to join this team. At her old workplace, the employees did not communicate, discuss ideas, or truly care for each other. She had felt unnoticed and undervalued. Since starting her new job, Joyce has been much happier and healthier. She is able to engage with her coworkers, share her strengths, and truly feels as though her voice is heard. Wow, thought Joyce. It's so nice to be able to be a part of a team in such a welcoming environment. Module 12 wrapping up. Although this workshop is coming to a close, we hope that your journey to improve your respect in the workplace skills is just beginning. Please take a moment to review and update your action plan. This will be a key tool to guide your progress in the days, weeks, months, and years to come. We wish you the best of luck on the rest of your travels. Words from the wise. Richard V. Reeves. Disagreement is one thing, disrespect is another. Malcolm Forbes. Diversity, the art of thinking independently together. Jackie Robinson. I'm not concerned with your liking or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being.